What does katana mean? It means Japanese sword. 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 Sword.
All right.
Yo, get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
You knew he had the knife.
Spooky hours up in here. We
Halloween.
in the Spook Zone, formerly known as the Nut Zone.
Welcome to the Spook Zone.
It's spooky time.
We're your hosts. I guess you could say some call me Pickle Nick.
What's up, Pickle Nick? This is me, your boy Steve.
You can call me Count Cracula.
That's true. His name is Count
I don't know
Dracula.
who has ever
Count
called you that,
Cracula.
but I might start.
Well, that's his name in our other undisclosed
Yeah, we'll
project.
leave that undisclosed
that's
for the
the
time
Lost
being.
podcast.
Super secret.
For
Can
the
I have a
Lost
cool
podcast.
nickname, guys?
Make it up, brother.
Well, I can't make my own nickname.
What's your name for that project? Do you have one?
Good question.
Is it Benny Two Gats?
That's a pretty good
It
name.
might be
That-
Benny Two
I
Gat.
think that sounds
I don't
right.
think it's that, but I like that.
And then Steve is Flowside, and yeah.
Oh, let's
Come on.
let's not get crazy.
We're
now.
not disclosing it. We're just
We're not disclosing it.
We're just
We're-
discussing
on
it.
Steam.
If tell you what, listener, if you subscribe to the ultimate Patreon tier, that's $5,000 a month, we will give you access to the undisclosed project.
Let me say
I
it's worth that.
don't
That's
think
worth
that's
it.
a great idea. We haven't fleshed it out yet. We're still the thing about workshopping projects is that you need to, before you put them out, they need to go to that workshop and get kind of hammered out.
All right.
There's some details you gotta nail down with a hammer, and sometimes you take it out back and shoot it.
$5,000.
Yeah,
Or-
I'll take the $5,000, please. Thank you very much.
Who's getting
I'll,
$5,000? You have my attention.
To be clear, I'm taking $1,000 of that for coming up with the idea.
Okay, I'll take $1,000 of that for providing input on the idea.
Consulting fees.
I'll take $1,000 because I'm on the track.
Damn, I wish I knew what we were talking about. Exactly.
All right. I wish the listener knew what we were talking about.
On that
Comment
tangent.
below. Take a guess as to what we're talking about. If you guess correctly, we'll pin your comment. You'll be top comment.
We'll pin your comment and we'll send you a very suspicious hyperlink.
Very suspicious.
All right, so we can circle back.
We'll come back to it. We'll
to
workshop
that one.
it. It'll be fine.
In the meantime, it's real spooky hours.
It really
Getting
is.
dark out early.
Leaves
Like
on the
6.
ground. It's
I
Honestly-
felt like I speed run the entirety of fall in one weekend. We went to the apple orchard, then went to a haunted house, and then it was like all raining and cozy and shit. It was nice.
Can you believe it's been 10 years since quarantine?
Wow.
It's insane. It's insane.
I can't believe. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. All jokes aside, I do appreciate the fall weather and I like it being dark earlier. I don't like it being dark in the morning, but just like at night, like driving home with no sun in your eyes is beautiful.
I like
But it
not
is in
sweating
your
at
eyes.
work. It's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. This weather is perfect for manual labor.
Yeah, definitely.
it's
Nice and
beautiful,
cool.
and
Yeah.
it gets dark out earlier, so you just don't feel like you're there for like it's decent. It stays light out enough, long enough to when you get to your shift and it's dark. Sometimes it's like when it hits that winter time and it's dark when you get to work.
That's
Days
just
blurred
depressing, I
together.
feel like, yeah.
I like the dark though. I like the darkness. It matches my soul. You know.
They literally had a thing out for work today that was like their driver helpers. For the listeners, I work at UPS as a package loader, but
That's fucking hot, dude.
yeah, I'm having a waifu being made right now actually for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a friend that's like drawing a UPS waifu for me. Sick.
You're gonna give him a commission.
Yep.
Good lad.
But it's they had so we have these big LED boards out that's these nice fancy things because they won't update a single thing on the inside of the building, but on the outside to the public it looks okay. But they had a thing for driver helpers, so pretty much you go help the UPS drivers run packages and shit and sit in their car. But they're like, the one key point, they're like, oh yeah, you work whatever, you make your hourly, you get more hours, you'll work outside. And I was like, damn, that's prime right there. Imagine being outside and not in a hub and in a trailer. That's a selling point.
I won't drop his name, but there's a guy we went to school with who went to the army and then came back and did some UPS package delivery stuff. He might still be doing it, I'm not sure, but he talked about all the time on Facebook about kind of the craziness of the holidays and being in that truck delivering packages and how many parcels you had to go through. I think he was a helper to start. He might have become a driver. I'm not sure.
Yeah. They usually try to get like seasonal drivers going because all you really need is a driver's license.
Right.
Because they're packaged cars, not packaged trucks.
They have pretty high, what's the word? Maybe regulations on driving though, because when I was at
you have to be trained. That's the thing. But after that, unless you like run into a school bus full of kids or start doing meth in your truck or your car, you're good.
Right.
You guys can you even do meth in my car nowadays?
I know. Big government.
Union's got your back though. You'll get your job back in 6 months.
True.
What I was trying to get at was when I was at Best Buy in the warehouse, I talked to the UPS driver that we saw daily, and he mentioned that like you usually have an open seat on the side of your truck, but he's heard of stories of people getting fired for offering like hitchhikers a ride or whatever, or someone's car breaks down, you can't drive them to the gas station because of like insurance liability and that kind of thing. Like it's pretty strict.
Yep. I mean, you're timed down to the millisecond in that truck. There's a whole computer that just times your efficiency and making sure you're touching. You have 3 points of contact on the car and all that kind of stuff.
That just makes me question this even more.
A 3-point of contact thing too, like a sensor. That's awesome. Not awesome, but like incredible ingenuity.
So there was this video over the weekend of an Amazon driver, guy in his van. And then you see the back of the van open up, and this chick is like fixing her dress and like grabbing her heels or whatever and walking out. It's like, damn. Man, I don't know how you figure that out with what you're talking about with all the like efficiency systems and stuff.
How you beat the system.
Amazon doesn't
do
Oreos
that. Covering the dashboard, like
Amazon doesn't like do any of that like min-maxing on their delivery vehicles or anything.
Well, they make so much money. I don't know if it matters.
Oh, yeah, dude, it doesn't matter. They could be paying off liabilities left and right. I mean, Amazon runs off inefficiency basically, so.
Yeah. I was playing Final Fantasy last night and I was talking to a guy about Amazon warehouses because he designed or worked on the robots that fetch packages.
Oh yeah.
And it's fucking insane.
They're nuts.
Like what they go like he said a few of the floors of some of these DCs or factories are run by robots entirely.
There's
wild.
A UPS hub that's mainly automated near us. That one's
now
crazy.
I've seen iRobot, so I know where this goes.
Yep.
Okay, it ends with me sliding down the side of a skyscraper with my robot hand, just screaming gutturally until I finally catch myself on a ledge, and then my robot friend saves me. So like I'm looking forward to that happening. It's gonna be a cool moment for me.
You know what's not a cool moment?
What?
Getting old.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of a bruh moment. Actually.
Yeah, it's a real bruh.
I'd almost forgotten until you brought it up again. Yeah.
You know how old we are now?
How's that knee feel?
It feels bad, dude. Like I don't know. I can't trace when exactly it happened. It's been a few weeks for sure, maybe a month. Where like I'll sit down the day it's fine because I'm moving it. Like I'm standing up straight and I'm getting down on my knees and climbing ladders and doing that shit. But when I get home and sit down and finally relax and I put my knee at like a resting place for playing video games, it just like knocks on the door. Hey, Steve, it's time to hurt, buddy.
Yeah.
Why don't you stretch me out?
Your boy.
Don't forget about me. So every 30 minutes I have to stretch this fucking thing out, and it's awful. And this is my life now.
I'm sure it'll get better. You know?
Yeah,
clearly. Knees heal themselves.
Yeah, those things are amazing. Yeah,
those things. Yeah.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm sure that by like the time we're all in the nursing home and, like we're pretty much at death's door and they start admitting like the Zoomers in, we'll just be in there and we'll hear a bunch of like the bruh. And firing off all this shit.
All that, yeah.
Hell
It'll
yeah.
be good.
I hope I'm just downloaded onto a SD card at that rate though.
Supposedly that's going to be a thing by the time we're going.
I'm down.
You guys ever play?
There's supposed to be flying cars by the time we.
That's true.
Yeah, look at my hoopty.
Too much shit flying around in airspace. The fucking flight authority will have a heart attack. There's no way they're ever going to allow it.
No. Only thing flying around in space is Elon Musk.
I think the whole like flying car thing is really optimal in like a utopian sense. you know, where like everyone's good, but like imagine the chaos some asshole could cause with a flying car.
It only
What, you
works.
mean like flying into the World Trade Center, for example?
Okay, let's not. No,
I'm just saying, like that's what people
Literally,
would do.
that's what people would
every
do.
day,
Yeah,
all day,
someone
forever.
goes wild.
It's a TikTok
there's
trend.
more than one example of that. There's that guy that just wanted. I think it was in Alaska, or was it Oregon or Washington? The guy wanted to do a barrel roll in a Cessna or something like
And
that.
he died, right?
Oh, Sky
Yeah,
King.
well, yeah,
Sky
yeah.
King.
He was obviously
Oh
He was a
yeah,
legend.
He was
depressed.
Sky
and
King, dude.
Yeah, he was going through some shit, and he wanted to. I think he was a package handler or a baggage handler for an airport, and he just stole the plane, took it off, and wanted to live a little bit. And
I bet that guy's a menace on the
and
sticks in
instead he
Flight
died.
Simulator.
yeah, he died.
If you see the footage, though, he pulls off a
Yeah.
pretty sick maneuver. Like for not knowing how to fly a plane, he flew a plane pretty well for the
it's
5 minutes that he had it.
It's sad because like no matter what anybody said to him from the ground, like he couldn't land that plane. I don't think, at least like
Yeah.
under any he could not have landed that plane. So he was kind of doomed from the start. Which
Wait, Dune?
Dune.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
let's not get into it.
Before we leave that, I know the mood is a little more somber, but I just like briefly lost my shit with Charles saying the TikTok trend of crashing your flying car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I did hear you laugh for you. I'm like, oh, I got Nick.
Fucking hell, man! I don't get it. I don't know why that shit is so funny.
That's a real thing to consider, though.
a real
With
It's the
flying
most
cars.
devious lick.
I think the only way to make the flying cars work is to have and it's being worked on right now with Tesla and that kind of stuff, is a fully automated
Yeah.
Oh, it'd have to
system
be
where
automated.
every
Yeah.
car is exactly where it's supposed to be, and every car never stops moving. Like
They're all communicating with each other.
Yeah, the reason traffic is so bad is because people try to cut in line, and that action causes everyone else 12 extra seconds of a slowdown, which causes everyone else behind them even more. And if every car is just constantly moving and calculating based on the speed of everyone else, and I don't know, it's just a better system, but we can't figure it out yet.
My driving hot take there with like traffic jams and stuff is that people need to be like I don't know what the word is, taking their foot off the brake. Like when you need to start creeping, because then that allows everyone to start creeping, and so you don't get the wave.
I've made this
that's never
same
gonna happen,
argument
but-
before at work, where you're talking about so say Nick is in front of me on the highway and he brakes. So whatever he reacted to that's causing him to brake, I'm reacting to his reaction of that braking, that stimulus. So I'm going to be even slower than he is. I'm going to brake harder because I had less time to react to whatever was causing the slowdown. And it just compounds from every car behind you. So whenever someone's braking, it causes more of a slowdown than if you would just kind of coast along at a normal speed. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: don't hit the brakes on the highway unless you need to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, rush hour traffic. If
I
somebody
know. I'm
merges,
just saying,
you
like
have to-
that's
yeah.
another
Yeah.
cause for all of it. Is people hit the brakes when they don't need to, and I freak out when someone in front of me brakes. Because that
you
shouldn't
don't know
happen
why
on the
they're
highway.
braking. Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't know why they're braking, so you want to just be safe and exactly.
Yeah,
It's
seeing
not
solid
not the
red
wrong
lights
call.
on the
Yeah, it's not
highway
great.
is like not what you want to be seeing. Like a tap here and there if someone's like adjusting their speed, or if like I've seen a lot of people where like you'll see everyone's light up in the rear,
Yeah,
but
like
it's all at
5
the
people.
same time, and then you see a state trooper, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's why.
Dude, I almost blew past a state trooper doing like
Yeah.
fucking like 15, 20 over the other day because I
Yeah.
treat my car like a little race car. I don't know. I let off the gas and it goes back to the speed limit, so I'm not really worried because it's not fast. It's just kind of fun to drive. But
That's the thing about this state, or maybe just everywhere. But I had 3 trips up north for work last month or the month before, and every single time driving north on 65, I had a truck or an SUV or somebody flash their brights at me while I was driving north, and it meant that there was a trooper like 2 miles ahead or whatever.
oh yeah,
So you just slow your speed down. It never failed. I got the lights flashed. I would just slow down. Troopers on the right side of the road, and then you keep moving.
do you
Is that
guys
what
do
it means?
that?
Do people do that?
I do that too.
right
Yeah.
by him.
Or is
like-
that's not always what it means, though, is it?
Not always.
Or deer.
It also
Yeah,
means
deer.
like it also means deer maybe, or your lights aren't on at night.
Let's talk about how inefficient that mode of communication is. Next
well,
thing.
it's not. It's
Could
good
mean
because
anything,
you see the
right?
lights and you go, okay, well, let's check the bases. Are my lights on?
True,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
kinda
Am I
do
in
an
am I in
analysis.
deer country and deer season?
Well, that
yes
and
or
like
no?
if you
And
think
then
about it,
just
like
think,
if you see someone just spamming their brights and hitting their cautions on, you're probably gonna just pay more attention to see like why they were doing it.
Yeah, that's
kind of
true.
the idea. Because like the other night I was coming home, and I like at like 2 a.m. and I saw like a big ass fucking deer like come across the road, and I was like, ooh, I hope that, because there's usually more than one. So I slowed down, looked around, and like flashed my brights at the people coming at me, and I saw them slow down, and I was like, yeah, there's deer crossing.
You're like, I'm gonna have to kick this deer's ass.
Why don't
That thing
deer
would have
just
kicked my
get it?
car's ass. That thing would have like, I would have taken its legs out, and like 400 pounds of dough would just fucking take my windshield out.
It would have damaged your car for sure. It wouldn't have hurt you though, I don't think. You know what would have hurt you if you hit it at night? A fucking moose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a moose law. Did you guys ever hear about the moose law? That like why our A-pillars are really hard to see through? So there was a thing in Canada made this law because a lot of cars in like the 70s and 80s had really small A-pillars. So
what do you mean by A-pillar?
So in your car you have where your windshield is, and then the points where your hoods are in the corner to your body, that's your A-pillar, and then the ones where like if you're on a coupe or on a 4-door, the ones between the doors, that's your B-pillars, and then I think they're C-pillars in the back. I think that's how it goes. But older cars used to have really tiny, like just pretty much trim on the A-pillars. I think it's A-pillars. But what happened is that all these car manufacturers were getting issues from people people were dying from hitting moose in Canada. So they made it like a requirement to have like more of a sturdy chassis. I mean, it's way different now because of like, unibody cars and like safety ratings and stuff, and crumple zones and stuff like that. But there's like a thing called the moose law.
Yeah. Well, if you hit a deer straight in the dead of its body, was it perpendicular to you, right? It's going to fall on your hood and probably crush it a little bit. If you hit a moose in that same spot, it's going to fall directly under where you're sitting, and it weighs way more than you.
Oh, yeah.
And usually the crumple weight of the car.
Well, the problem with deer is that they have such small legs, and you hit them and come under them, and they just come into your windshield.
Yeah.
They just roll into your windshield, because that's going to be the most...
Moose are so tall, they'll go over you if you speed
in my
through
car,
them, right?
dude, I could like just like fucking take one's knees out and go
You're
under
supposed
it.
to do that, aren't you?
Just ramp that thing, Charles.
Yeah, kill it.
You guys ever get told when you're
what
learning
that
how
is,
to
actually,
drive
Tim.
that like if you see an animal, don't like try to lock your brakes up? Like if you see a squirrel, don't lock your brakes up, just go.
Yeah.
I was taught that.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
wanna upset the
And
car
he's
just
right,
because
just
of like a
hit the
fucking
deer.
like, which
Yeah.
sucks because I've creamed raccoons, like a family of raccoons crossing the road at 2 a.m. and I'm coming.
Dude, I feel bad. I clowned a raccoon at like 70.
Dude,
sucks.
yeah, I was fucking like initial
Get
D
her
music
done.
must have been playing it or something. I was just going because it's 2 a.m. There's no one fucking out there. Like,
Charles, I want you to know mine was at 2 a.m. as well.
yeah, but I see like a group of them and I'm
Coon
like, oh
time.
fuck, and I'm braking and like I almost locked I don't want to flat spot my fucking tires or anything, so I'm like kind of braking, and then I like notice that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clip like 2 of them, I think. So I like try to slow down and just like coasted, and I just hear the bump, and I'm like, damn it. At least like 4 of them got away though.
Is the
You only killed
swerving?
the parents.
No, I got the slow one, so really it was natural selection.
I do
like,
the swerve, Nick, depending on what the situation is.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, because I honestly feel like it's something like a meme in movies. Like I generally speaking, I don't think I would ever. Well, maybe not ever, but I don't imagine a situation where my initial response would be, "I'm gonna swerve out of the way of this thing," rather than hit the
Well, you want
brakes.
to brake in a straight line though, always. That's the most efficient
Yeah.
thing to do is keep your wheels straight and brake. But like, ABS doesn't kick in. You're in snow, stuff like that.
I will make a quick judgment. If I'm like in a neighborhood street or a low speed limit street, I will slow down and just swerve out of the way. But if you're on a highway and you can't slow down, it's not worth it to try to move out of the way or anything.
Yeah, you don't want to like.
You're going to endanger yourself or someone behind you or whoever.
Yeah, you don't want to roll your car because you were trying to snap steering at Scandinavia and flick yourself into a ditch because of a fucking raccoon or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's the way you run it.
I'm gonna segue into a interesting story I had that kind of relates to we were just talking about a little bit before about the traffic and stuff.
You tell.
There was a time about, I want to say maybe a month or two ago, I drive a Toyota Corolla. Its horn doesn't work, and it's got like 300,000 miles. I was in a rush for work. I'm behind this guy. We get the left-hand signal. We're going. This guy slams on the brakes in the middle of the turn because there's a homeless guy just standing in the middle begging. Like they're always
as you
there.
do, I guess.
Yeah, and
Sure, I
he's
would
not
be.
in the way or anything. So I'm like making a bunch of hand motions outside of my car and just like, mad. Well, this guy, he tries to do the thing where he drives really slow. So I go around, I speed race in this fast Toyota Corolla.
That fresh 300,000 mile Corolla.
It's built
That's honestly
for
brand
it.
new for a
It's
I'm a
car.
little-
honestly, that's low mileage.
Yeah,
I'm a
it
little
actually
moist,
is.
to be honest with you. A little bit
So-
moist.
I got in front of his piece of shit car and cut him off.
Blew his
And-
fucking doors off.
And
His
he-
piece of shit.
Yeah. And the entire time we had to drive together for like 50 minutes, and he just laid on his horn like the entire time without letting up, driving next to me, but
Dude,
wouldn't
what?
come up next to me for over 5 minutes,
he's
even
a
at
pussy.
the stoplight. I like looked back at him, I motioned him up, and he didn't move. He just kept the horn going.
He's afraid of an altercation, man. He doesn't know what's gonna happen.
You're
Road
big,
rage is
Elliot.
wild. Yeah,
No,
you're fucking built, dude.
You're
I mean, he
massive.
made a good call because, like, in the morning, I was just like, dude, I'm so not like stoked about this. Like, so
Have you guys
That's
ever
so
had
funny.
someone like get out of their car? They're so mad.
not yet.
Nah, I have not had
It was
that.
almost me.
I've had that.
I had a high schooler flip me off once because I got into a turn lane. That's all I can describe. Like
You were just in a
literally
turn lane
I
and he
literally
flicked
went
you off?
from the right lane. I kind of slowed down a little. I slowed down before the turn lane a little bit, and then I did my indicator and then got into the actual turn lane. And he rolled up to me and flipped me off, and then sped off somewhere to go like beat his girlfriend or something. I don't know.
I was gonna say if he
Sometimes
didn't
high
speed off, I
schoolers
would have
just are
thrown
in
a
a-
fucking tire iron at his car.
Well, those are the type of situations where you need the casual gun, the gun that sits on the dash.
Damn it!
I have a
no.
good, well, not a good story, but I have a story about that.
You're,
So-
you're not using it. You're just
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
flashing it.
Yeah, you're.
So
Yeah.
one of my uncles told me a story once about how it was a similar road rage situation where like someone was tailgating him, so he just like stayed in his lane and like he wasn't going to be moved right by this guy, and the guy eventually got in front of him, braked him, and stopped him. Got out of his car and walked up to him, and he just pulled his like 357 out and laid it on the side of the windshield or like the window, and just kind of sat it there. And the guy just turned around and got back into his car and drove away.
Yeah. That stuff's all great as long as like, the person doesn't call the police after you get a felony for brandishing a firearm.
Yeah.
That's like the big problem with that, because I am all for the show of force mentality.
I think
when
the
an
story was
altercation
from like
comes.
a while ago, like years and years
yeah.
ago, I imagine. But so maybe a different time. I don't know.
But nowadays, it's like even just like in a area near us, like if you're in the boonies, I'm sure it's more of a commonplace thing, I would say.
yeah,
But there's less people out there, so if you're really
Yeah.
pissed at someone, they must have done something pretty fucking stupid.
also just like don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the boonies, there's like you and that one guy are the only two people traveling right now. So just get in front of them and leave.
So here's a question for everybody: Are you guys like? Do you guys honk? I feel like some people don't use their
Yeah,
horn.
I honk.
I'm pretty light on it.
I use it correctly.
Mine doesn't work.
Like if someone blatantly is not seeing the green light, I'll give them a little
Yeah.
like a hey wake up, kind of
Yeah,
a
I'll do
honk.
that.
And then if someone is about to back up into me in a parking lot, I'll honk at them too.
Yeah.
But those are the two spots that I'll do it. I think.
I think the last time I had to use my horn, I don't think I actually had to, but I was in a state where I wanted to. I was coming back late at night, basically 2-lane road, and I'm going pretty fast, and I see this dude up ahead, And so he's like slowing down and he's going to start to turn. And it's like that thing, right? You're in the boonies, like we were just talking about, nobody else on the road. He decides that he's going to cut in front of me.
Oof.
And so I physically had to move the car around. Otherwise I would have hit him into the oncoming lane. I'm like, are you fucking serious? So I laid on it for a good 5 seconds.
I think you're right to do that.
Yeah. I had to honk at someone today because it was some bitch in a Subaru, like, with her blinker on, and then she dropped like 10 miles an hour while I'm boxed in by like a fucking dump truck, and I'm like, come on. I just like, pay attention.
I won't
like,
honk
I always
for
see
someone
people on their
doing
phone,
that.
dude.
Yeah, that's
I will
annoying
honk when
as hell.
people are on their
That's
phone.
annoying as hell. You were that guy when you brought us to your cabin once, Elliot.
Yeah.
You were the one driving, and you were the only one that knew how to get there.
All right.
And I'm pretty sure the only one who had cell signal.
Hey,
so if you went
hey.
down, it was all over for us. And
Give me a merch alert here. I got one.
all right,
Tactical nuke incoming!
Merch alert.
Here it is.
what's the
The shirt's gonna say on the front, "I've never been in a car crash," and then on the back it says, "Proud owner" or "Proud texting and driving driver" or something.
Proud
like that.
texting while driving using
to be
knees expert.
perfectly
Expert.
clear to the audience, all proceeds will go to texting and driving deaths
campaigns.
in America.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm going with.
That's
that
kind of
one.
part of our car collection of shirts, because the other one we've got is drunk driving is a skill.
Okay, so I don't know if we've released that one yet.
We've
That
released
goes to
it.
AAA.
Have we?
Or not AAA.
Not
but
officially, you're
Alcoholics
right.
Anonymous.
Yeah, it's a lost
we
episode.
can kind of retread it a little bit then. The general gist is that, some people are good at drunk driving and some people definitely are not.
Yo.
And
But
there's a difference.
everyone who's and then here's the little nugget of knowledge. Everyone who's a sober driver is better at driving than people who are drunk at driving.
They should
And
have
all
drunk masters.
proceeds of
think,
these shirts will go
if-
to the National American University.
I think there are some
.com.
people who are better at driving drunk than certain people who are better at driving sober.
To be sure, but that's
So there
true
should
for
be, like-
literally-
Wait
that's
a
true for
minute,
any
wait a
task
minute.
though. That's not exclusively driving. That's true for like video games. It's true for math. I don't know, any task. I think there's people that are better at it while inebriated than others. Is that not
What-
is that not true?
Drunk
yeah, I agree.
NASCAR guys, come on.
Whoa.
What do you think?
That
Just a
should be a
bunch of
sport.
lit up fucking
As if living
NASCAR
on the edge
drivers?
wasn't enough. You want to do it while drunk too.
I want
That's
Days
horrible.
of
Called
Thunder,
Elko
but they're
Speedway,
smashed.
Charles.
Huh?
This is called any race at Elko.
I saw a
Something
thing
more.
where they did the Danger Ranger 9000. And it was a 60
I've
lap
seen
race.
it.
Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, you're on YouTube
Yeah.
as much as I am. We're in the same sect of YouTube.
Different reasons, but yeah.
Different
Yes.
reasons. Yeah.
You know, speaking of Danger Ranger, though, can we just discuss Alec Baldwin for a second here? That whole story
Yeah.
that came out.
There's
What
a
was that?
whole lot of interesting plot twists to that story.
Yeah, there seems to-
more
like,
came out, and I'm concerned that seems like the safety wasn't a concern on the set, and I'm also concerned that there is more going on that they won't talk about. You know what
Wait,
I mean?
who's Alec Baldwin?
That's the paranoid guy in me.
that's the correct take. Yeah.
He's SNL, done a few things.
The only thing I've heard is the initial like post in our Snapchat group, and where I was like giving my quick like what I think went wrong, like the squib thing.
It was just live rounds.
What?
Yeah,
there were- there
okay, I
were-
didn't hear her
Yeah.
updates
I-
since.
I
then.
will give you, well, unless if
I-
you have
here,
like the
I-
most recent update then, because there was one just
Yeah.
today. Okay.
Yeah.
Most recent information that there was that there was 3 NDs prior of live ammunition, and that's why half the staff quit, and they replaced them all with non-union
Yep.
workers.
Yep.
So there were 3 NDs prior. It was all live
And if,
ammo,
for
not
these
like
viewers,
not like the
NDs are
Crows.
negligent discharges.
Right, but in film
that's
they
when
use
the king goes skra.
Yeah.
So just clarifying
course.
here. In film, they use live ammo to mean also blank shell casings where they have the plastic or rubber casings instead, and also actual like rounds of ammunition.
Oh, they don't have like.
Yeah, so they blanket live ammunition as both of those things. And then when they say something like cold gun, what that means is there is no gunpowder or any sort of actuator in this weapon, so it's clear to fire as a shot mechanism, like as just a
So there obviously wasn't a
So-
range
Yeah,
official
aesthetic.
around.
So
Yeah.
from my understanding, the armor set down a cart with 3 guns on it.
Yep.
One of the directors or executive producers or something,
Assistant director.
assistant director, grabbed the gun off the cart, yelled "cold gun," and then handed it to Alec Baldwin. And then Alec Baldwin pointed at someone and shot it.
Oops.
Why?
Not
It's
There's-
cold.
there's more
again,
details than
not
that,
exactly
but-
true. Yeah, not exactly true.
That's the gist of what we got.
He grabbed the gun. So Alec was in a saloon type thing.
Uh-huh.
The assistant director grabbed the gun from the cart, thinking he was grabbing the cold. I assume there was a cold gun.
There's
In their
3
terms,
odds
Can we put
I assume there
post-its on
was.
these guns? You know, this one's
Yeah.
the gun that
So-
kills
so-
people.
I
This
can-
one's the one you could just
You know
press
that
the
orange
trigger
thing
all
they
day.
put on airsoft guns?
And that was my first
Take it
question.
out
Why
in
wasn't the
post?
armorer delivering the weapon? I don't know
No,
why he
you
just grabbed
think
it.
so?
That assistant director, the guy that handed Alec Baldwin the gun, he was previously fired from another movie for basically doing the same thing for like safety concerns because there had been negligent discharge and like he just was not.
How does
yeah.
he have
So
a job
this-
anywhere?
My concern is, why is there so much legitimate, actual ammunition
why
on
do
a
they
set of a
need
movie?
that?
Yeah.
I would just keep it all off of a
Yeah.
set.
Can we take a hot take break for my speculation here? I think, and this is not confirmed by any article, but I think that this assistant director guy wants to feel like a hot shot holding a weapon. So he goes in and grabs it himself and carries it around and gives it to the actor and then makes statements like cold gun or whatever, like go ahead and fire this thing. I'm the hot shot. I decided this was going to happen. And then doesn't know anything about firearms, but thinks that they're cool. Does that sound like I'm on the money
It
here?
sounds like a lot of
No.
psychoanalyzing.
Yeah.
for
It
sounds
my, for
like
my
Like I
taste.
said,
That's
it's
like-
a
that sounds
hot
like you
take.
know the
This
guy.
sounds like a very big reach.
Yeah, that's my hot
what
take.
I'm
There's no
hearing.
way he doesn't know anything about
I
guns.
think it was probably just
He
like,
obviously does not.
bad staffing.
Cold
probably
gun
not the
means no
greatest.
gunpowder.
Because
Okay, who said cold gun?
The
That
assistant
guy.
director said that. Cold gun, no gunpowder. You're free to fire this. He
So-
knows nothing about guns.
But
if he said that.
one thing though, I mean, I think
He didn't look at
looks
the gun.
more suspicious than the armor. But that said, the armor I think also had some like yellow flags attached to her, where she was like very inexperienced. She didn't feel like she was like. I think she said she's like nervous about like this and all that, and then like had like not. I don't know. There was something other. I can't remember what it was now, but there's something that like maybe could point to her as well in terms of like if she is telling people, "Oh, this one is a cold gun." I'm not saying that excuses them of liability of not. You treat every gun as loaded until proven otherwise, or even when it is proven otherwise.
Yeah.
But
I think it points to 4 people: the armorer, the assistant director, Alec Baldwin, and the production company. Because all of them. How do you grab a gun and not check what's in it, hand it to someone else and say, "Hey, fire this"? How do you receive that gun and fire it without checking
could have been
it?
just like they're crunched on time for that day.
Yeah,
of
but
shooting,
if you're gonna
and
fire-
things are just moving fast.
A prop gun isn't special. It's not like a fucking those little toy guns we had as kids or whatever.
Well,
Like it just has different ammo in
The
it.
thing is,
am I
with
wrong?
prop
Like,
guns, I would say, because like in films they use like rubber guns in action scenes, because you got to think about like the scene they're shooting, and
Yeah.
because they'll make prop guns that could be like a full die cast thing that looks a lot like the real gun and has the weight for it for a close up shot.
Mhm.
Something where you need that kind of detail, or if it's people just going around, they probably have like plastic or ABS plastic chrome painted revolvers or something like that, or like something like that.
Okay.
It could have been a shot where, because it said it was in a saloon, it sounds like it was like a shootout thing, like it was like
That's a good point.
something like that. It could have been like, we're gonna shoot this shot. We've done 8 takes of this, and he's just got to grab it off, and they just put the wrong one up or something like that.
Right. That is a
I
good
just am
point.
trying to
but
think of like the scenario of
Yeah.
what's going
there
on.
were details
far
that
as the
he was
training
actually
aspect-
supposed to be pointing the gun like at the camera for the scene.
No, he was. She was at the camera trying to line the shot up, and so was the director. That's why they were bundled up.
Right, but
It
just talking
narrowly
about
missed
that,
the
yeah.
camera operator, and so he didn't point it at her in the middle of a crowd. He was pointing at the camera to get a shot.
Yeah.
So, to his credit, but on the note that Charles was talking about, like even if they were grabbing it for a scene and it could have been fake, if I were to hand you something resembling a gun and said, "Hey, this is a cold gun," pointed at my head and shoot it, would you do it without checking it?
If I was an actor, Probably.
Yeah. So an actor wouldn't know, which is why they should have received proper training. Like if you've seen the things they've done for like John Wick
Well,
or
that's what I was
whatever,
gonna
where they
say.
teach
It
you how
could
to
have been
shoot the
just like,
firearm.
oh, this is
It's
not
a severe
the...
and gross lack of training on their cast, who is dealing with firearms every single day on set shooting.
It could not be every
sucks.
day though. It could have been that one time they needed an armor real fast, and it was just a shit show. Because I can imagine,
I don't think that's
shooting
the case.
movies is a shit show. I mean, it's just a...
the whole production sounded like a shit show. So
Yeah,
that's
what
where
I mean.
It was day
yeah.
12 of a 21-day shoot, and that was the third time in like a few days that the misfire had happened. So the armor was there the entire time. They were using weapons for multiple days.
Well, I'm saying that the project as a whole. Like,
Yeah.
Was
You know,
it
it takes
real
a long
rounds
time.
that were going off for the NDs?
I don't think that's clear yet, because like I said, they use the term live round to describe blanks as well as like real ammunition.
So here's what I'll say: if that's happened 3 times already, I'm checking the gun. I don't give a fuck who's
who's
telling me what's
I don't
in the
understand
gun.
why you wouldn't just check it and verify, like, okay, cool, this is what I think it is. I'm now going to point it at something and shoot. Like, it's just it's a common sense, but if you're an actor, Hollywood famous, whatever the fuck, you wouldn't know that. But you should have received training from the production company or whoever else is in charge of that for how to safely deal with those.
Well, we don't know if the gunplay or any of the... I don't like the movie. If it's a whole movie of shooting, like they're obviously
it's a Wild West movie. Like, it's got guns everywhere, right?
Well, are they going, like, that's what I mean. There's guns everywhere, but like, are there gun fights? Like, are they choreographing gun fights? Okay.
Yes.
Because then they could be just like, oh, we're gonna do it rough and tumble style, and
no,
we're gonna fuck this up. That's what I mean. It could be just like negligence on multiple people's parts.
Right, but that you can't, like, that's not okay. Like, it's
no
one's saying it's terrible. It's just like we're
really
trying
bad.
to explain how it's happened, or like how it happened, basically. When it, like, you would think that common sense and all the rest of it should
I think
tell
that
you,
company needs to pay a severe price, and as does the director guy, the armorer, and Alec Baldwin. I'm not saying like jail time for the rest of your life or whatever, but like there's a serious consequence to be paid for that amount of negligence and lack of safety.
I'd be willing to bet none of them are going to jail for more than like a year or 2.
Who do you think has the most blame in this situation?
The company in charge.
The assistant director, for me, because that's based more on his prior behavior, where like he had previously been fired for doing this same sort of shit.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Nick, because that's what all this stuff is new.
Okay.
Yeah, I go with the person who was like directly handling the gun and was like, "This is good."
Because when it comes down to it, it's really the hands-on thing. I mean, that's like firing a manager for, like, you know, your cashier punching somebody. You know,
he's my second choice. I think if the production company would have done better on the training aspect, Alec would have checked the weapon before firing it, and he didn't. But I think the cause of it was that director guy.
And it comes down to incentives at the end of the day. We can stop talking about this if we're we might be spent. But
okay, you know, what's also a weird thing that this whole paying for pizza over 6 weeks thing.
What?
It's totally off topic.
Times.
Like, what is happening now? Like, how does this work?
Explain that.
I posted the link in TeamSpeak.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and throw it up for you here.
Nick was the first one to bring this up.
Correct.
Or you took a screen cap from Facebook or something, right?
Yeah, I just saw it on the internet, but yeah, it's a Facebook ad, and so you've got buy now, pay later at Domino's.
Oh my god!
Pay back over 6 weeks with a thumbs up emoji.
Bruh, if you can't buy the 2 for $10 medium pizzas like on the spot, you got. Oh man, you got bigger issues.
What does this say about our friend Nick who got the ad?
I told you I found it on the internet.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I forgot that.
Let me public service announcement. If you have to pay back pizza over 6 weeks, maybe don't buy a pizza.
Don't get a credit card either, because you won't
maybe go to the
understand how that
grocery
works
store
either.
and buy some other things that you can buy at that moment.
Well, on the other hand, though, this is kind of a dark enlightenment moment. The people who are really bad with credit cards enable the rest of us to have credit cards with no fees
Yeah.
and cash back. Yeah,
Yep. Oh,
because
true,
that's how they
true.
make money, is the people who are really bad with their money.
You know what I found out the other day from a YouTube guy? Oh, God, I can't remember his name. He makes good videos. Maybe, I don't know,
John
put it
Tron?
somewhere. But
We'll-
no,
yeah,
it's
we'll
not
find-
John
we'll
Tron.
find him, put him up.
They call people who pay back credit cards on time deadbeats. Like credit card companies. That's the term they use for it. Deadbeats are the
Deadbeats?
people who actually
What?
pay their bills on time.
Oh, that's a reversal, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Really? Huh.
What do they call the people that don't make their payments on time?
I
Fucking
can't
whales.
remember. It's in the
Money
video
profits.
too.
Just fucking
Pay
whales.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks.
Pay pigs. Pimps.
Payday. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Are
don't
you
know.
simping for the credit card companies, Uwu?
Ordinary Things is the YouTube channel.
The thing is, like, this kind of looks bad for Domino's, I feel like, too, because I don't think anybody is reacting positively to this.
Well, it's probably not
Is
Domino's.
it? I was gonna say, is this third? It's got to be third party.
Well, they're
It was
using the
Zilch,
Domino's
right?
logo in the advertisement, which I work in kind of, I don't know, advertising adjacent fields. And so to, like, use a logo like that, generally you need permission.
Yeah. No.
So, I don't know.
Maybe Domino's. It might be just like, yeah, you can use this with. I guess it's interesting because, like, to me, they don't really need a partnership with them or anything. But yeah, you're probably right. They probably needed rights to be able to use that image.
Maybe the red's a shade off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I will tell you,
God.
the Grubhub, they keep hooking me. I keep
Really?
wanting to not do it, but then they'll be like, "Well, we'll give you $15 off, my man." And I'm like, "Well, that's
Well, that's what they get you, dude.
That pays for the fees and all that.
it
I'm on
pays for
board with that.
So I did, because I signed up for the 3 months free of Grubhub Plus, and then it did what it was supposed to. Because of course, once that went up and I canceled it, and then the next weekend I'm like, I could really go for a burger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what's funny and speaks true to what our friendship is you discussed paying extra money to Grubhub, and I berated you, but I've been a member of DoorDash Premium for like 3 years.
Oh my god.
Because
I know you
Grubhub
get your
has
use out
better
of it though,
selection,
Steve.
to be
I do,
fair,
because
but-
when we're in the Midwest, especially in the winter when there's snowstorms, they add extra fees
Oh, I didn't know
unless
that.
you're a premium member. You don't pay those fees.
Oh.
So it works out.
Wait, like Pornhub Premium?
Yes, I have that as well, and the Red
Okay.
Tube, and then the what's the other
You
one?
guys subbed any OnlyFans?
This is what they give
Oh,
you when you.
ladies,
when you-
please, ladies,
make me
please.
feel
I'm in the
so good.
podcast.
That one
Guys,
sounds
ladies,
different than the
please.
Travis one. Wow.
All right, I'm
That's a
sorry,
different girl.
listeners, I
Yeah.
apologize.
More enthusiastic
I will keep
about
that
Steve.
under
I
wraps.
like her.
I think
Back-
she's.
You get back in there.
She's
Okay,
more
I'm sorry. She won't bother you
enthusiastic
anymore.
I think
about
she just
the
doesn't
Steve
like
than the-
Travis. You know?
Oh,
have one.
Trav.
Speaking of which, so how are we gonna get him on the podcast? What do you guys
We
think?
won't.
He doesn't want to come.
So
I finally got him
we
to
have
unmute
trick
today.
him.
We literally
after
have to
4
trick him
days.
into it.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
we
know
can
how
do
we're
that too.
gonna-
We're
We have
Tricking
to
him into it.
record without it saying record in TeamSpeak. And just
Oh,
all
boy.
being here like talking. Hi, hey guys.
just hanging out.
Just talking about stuff, guys.
We could just
You can
like,
use a third party thing to record.
Hey guys, normal
exactly.
recording.
Audible.
This week, Travis is here with us, and
Just normal.
Yeah, don't
sorry, this
worry
audio
about how
quality is really
normal it
bad, and we
is
don't have
here.
our spectrum meter thing anymore because we had to sneak a recording.
we
We had to like
Is,
spy cam, get a recorder, and to, like wear a wire basically to get.
Is
Travis on.
Minnesota a two-party consent state? Will he sue us?
Oh fuck, he might.
might sue us. That's such a Travis move.
He would know the perfect
Yeah.
amount to sue us for
Alright,
to
counter,
bankrupt us
counter.
all.
We just don't
he
tell
would make
him that
money
we
off our
put it-
podcast.
We don't show him the podcast. He'll
He
never
doesn't
watch
listen
it.
to it.
That's true.
so-
He won't
Exactly.
listen to it.
I don't know why
so-
he doesn't. Maybe he's a
It's-
bad friend. Isn't that
We
right,
are-
Travis?
We are not a two-party consent state.
Nice.
I just looked it up.
Sick.
Thank goodness. You
I
know,
know, right? Jesus.
the gamers once again have
Gamers
No.
win.
Gamers
Yep.
win.
them.
So I've been thinking of like, weird interactions with people that I've had over my life. There's one that I was thinking of when I was riding a Greyhound bus from Minnesota to Iowa before I had a car of my own. and like the entire time I heard this like woman behind me. She was like talking with some male acquaintance. They were both dirty hippies, and she's just like going on a multi-hour like basically a seminar about like energies and like LSD and crystals and divine healing and all of this stuff. I'm just like, I've never heard anyone talk at length about that kind of stuff before, and it was like honestly very interesting. I don't know if I would have had as much patience for it nowadays as I did then, but I don't know. That was just kind of funny. And then at the end, I like eventually, as we got closer to where the bus was going, I was like talking with them for a bit, just because what else am I gonna do? And then like I, reached my stop and they were still riding. I think they were on a 24-hour bus ride or something ridiculous.
Jesus.
And like I was like, all right, yeah, you guys have a good time. And she just like in the most sincere like voice I've ever heard was just like, I truly wish you well. And it was just like
Damn.
it
That's
like
wholesome
hit
as
different.
fuck.
I was like, holy cow.
You feel like you were
that-
just like you just were talked to like a noble.
Yeah, I was like,
like-
this is I just fucking I
Very
came
wholesome.
off like
Very
on
wholesome.
another level.
Now-
She's about to do 5 grams of ketamine later that night.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna be blasted and I won't
about to
remember you, but I
blast.
hope my spirit travels
Yeah,
with
no,
yours.
I probably
She
she probably has
died.
not given me a thought.
She
for
died
the
of a
rest her life.
fentanyl overdose like 3 years ago.
Good lord.
Man, way
I
to
have-
take that wholesome energy and twist it, guys.
I have 2 bus
Those
stories. I
French
just
press
realized.
mollies.
She cursed you.
Go with
She
it.
that voodoo woman.
Run
Could I,
with it.
could I also share a couple of bus stories?
Bus
Yeah.
stories are good.
The shortest one that I have is when I was up
Short
and
bus
working in
story?
the short bus story. Yeah, I was working in the Iron Range up in northern Minnesota, doing some stuff there. And I pulled up to a Hardee's after work because it was one of the 4 places to get food in that city. And I saw a dude walking up to the main entrance with me, and we both walked up, and I pulled the door, and it was locked. And he goes, "Oh, is it locked?" And I said, "Yeah, I didn't get in." Clearly. And so he had just gotten off the Greyhound bus from the cities and was like, "Hey, is it cool if I hop in your truck and go through the drive-thru with you?" So I did, and we listened to Run the Jewels and drove through the
Nice.
drive-thru. And I was with a stranger, and we talked about his trip, and we ate hamburgers together.
I would have said, no, sir, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah,
I-
but
Like any yeah,
I
like-
didn't have a great excuse, and also like he seemed like he was literally. I saw him get off the Greyhound, and he was carrying 2 bags, and he walked up with it like instantly from the bus, walked to get food because it was a 6-hour drive, with the stops and all that stuff. Like he seemed genuine, and also like it's northern Minnesota, like it's the Iron Range, like
You
you're
guys probably got
either
her to
a genuine
fucking work.
person or like you're blatantly not a
Meth
genuine
addict.
person.
Yeah, but I'll
Yeah,
say
I didn't
this,
want to
though.
say it. I
Really.
didn't want to say it, but maybe.
Every
Maybe.
serial killer ever has seemed like a normal guy to the people they were killing.
Here's what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
like,
I'm with Steve on this one. Though.
No,
I think
I'm
you
with
do
Steve.
have
You
to
take
open
it.
yourself up
Yeah.
to certain experiences in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not about
Yeah,
that,
you're-
the stranger
dude,
in the car
nobody's
thing.
gonna
Ten,
serial
10,
kill you.
I'll paint you a
They
different
might.
picture. If I had pulled up to the Hardee's and he was sitting on a bench outside of it with no bags and just kind of just already been there for a while, maybe I wouldn't have said yes.
and he got into your
But
car
I
a lot
literally
faster and started
yeah.
looking around.
I literally
Yeah.
saw him get off the Greyhound. He had bags on him. Like it, I don't know. It just in the moment, it felt right.
Part
Dude,
of it
I think
is-
it's always the right call to take opportunities like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
think about what they could say.
Yeah.
It could
10,
be
10,
interesting.
10, buddy. Have you ever had an opportunity presented to you that
Why I have.
really?
Now that you mention it, I hadn't thought of it. So I was in a Walmart bathroom, of course.
As all great stories start.
Yep, that's where they all start. And this guy comes in and he looks like a crackhead, right? Just right off the bat, he looks like
You
a
can smell the
crackhead.
crack on him from a mile away.
I could smell it.
He had a
Um,
T-shirt says "I love crack."
Might as well.
So I finish up peeing, because I was in the bathroom. That's what you do in there. And I'm washing my hands, and he starts doing his thing, and then he says, "Hey, you want to make $20?"
Whoa, what
And,
happened to $10?
I don't
Can I-
remember what it was.
There
Was it 20 or 10?
That one was 10.
I think it was 10. Can I
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
pause you
wondering
for a
about
minute?
that earlier.
20, my guy, you know?
Can I pause you for a minute and,
Sure.
and ask what his thing was?
He was
You
pissing.
were washing
he was,
your-
he was
okay, gotcha.
pissing.
I couldn't figure out if he was washing his hands too, or like standing in the corner doing something else while you were washing your hands.
He was pissing.
Okay.
And then,
Right.
as I
Natural,
said before,
natural.
without hiccup, he said, "Hey, would you like to make $10?" And I said, "No, thank you." And I left there because, you know, hindsight's 2020. Everyone has said this. I would have liked to have known what he was going to give me $10 for.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I didn't want to,
It could have literally
endanger
been
myself.
like, "Hey, does this tie match this shirt?" Like it could have
That's
been that.
true.
And you
Or,
would have
That's
done.
his joke.
I don't think
Yeah.
that gentleman owned a tie. We'll say that. We'll say that.
Maybe that's his public bathroom joke. You know?
It could
That-
be.
he could have been making a
Honestly,
joke.
I
and
can-
then
I
he
can
just kind
picture
of
the
he
type
just
of guy that
enjoys
would
making
He's like
that,
this. Look at this fucking
little
guy.
white
Hey, you want to
boys
make $10?
uncomfortable.
He just wants to watch you squirm.
Yep,
Yeah.
he did.
See, that sounds like
otherwise-
something like if you like regular a bar or something like that, and there's always that one guy in there, and he says shit like that. You know? I don't know.
I feel like you always ask, "Doing what?
Yeah,
You want to make
I
$10
sh- I
doing what,
should've,
soldier?
right?
You
What's
should have
going
said,
on?
"You want to make 20?"
Enlighten me. What kind of party is this, brother?"
Could be a
And then
nice
you say
party.
no, or
Then you
yes,
fight 'em.
depending on like what you're into. You know, I'm not going to judge for you. That's your job.
You see the
Listener.
games tin, you just take the $10 right off him.
I think
True.
you always just gotta hear him out.
I agree to the BJ.
I have
He gives
a-
me the 10, then I get out of there.
I have a
Yeah.
similar story kind of to Nick's actually that I was thinking about. So when I worked at the gas store, there was one night where this really high lady came in, like kind of gypsy-esque.
A noble woman, high lady.
Yeah, no, maybe more like a sage, you know,
Thank you,
kind of
Tim.
like. But like, so she came in and she was just talking to me about something, and she just kept on like, and she wasn't like a bad looking older lady. Like she definitely was hot as fuck.
Kinda
20
bad, though.
years ago, like before the drugs.
When she wasn't
The
gross,
long,
she was
long
hot.
time
Yeah,
ago.
exactly.
When
Like you
she
could tell there
wasn't.
was some hotness there, but she was talking to me, and I think she told me she was on a lot of mushrooms. And
How
when
much
I
is
was
a wad?
a lot
A lot.
of
Okay.
mushrooms.
Oh, a lot. I think it's a wad. Like, is that a unit?
Oh,
of measurement?
wow.
Like,
Just
what,
a handful.
What unit is that?
But she's talking to me, and she's like leaving, and this is like 10:30 at night, like half an hour before we're closing. And I ring her up, and she leaves, sell her some smokes. And she's like, "Oh, you have a good night. Can I?" Like, she's pretty much grabbed my hand at this point, like across the counter, and like I held onto it. I didn't know really what to do. I think she asked me for a hug, but she held onto it, and then she just started like blessing me, like pulled my head in, put it next to hers, and started saying a prayer or something, or like a seance or something like that.
Huh.
And she left, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
How have you felt since then?
I don't know. I think
I
about her
cleansed?
every day.
I definitely
How-
thought that was going to get sexual, just the way you
No,
started
I thought
the
it
story.
was too at the time. I was like,
You
this
sitting
lady,
there
like,
where's this
yeah,
going?
she's like,
Yeah,
you're very
clock
handsome.
lady,
You have,
whoops.
I think she said like, you have a very good aura around you or energy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty high right now at the gas station. So.
How, somewhat related, how comforting is it to go to the gas station and buy your things, and then like the attendant just goes like, "Have a good day, sweetie," or like honey or sugar or
Oh,
something.
I
something
like
like
that.
I'm
that.
about that.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I'm about that.
I
It's
like
cozy.
to do
It's
that.
cozy. I enjoy it.
When I was
Yeah.
a cashier,
I'm
I
a
would do
grown
that.
ass man. If you call me sugar at the gas station, I will feel comfortable.
My
Thank you.
my thing turned into, after many years, was boss. Like,
You like
Oh,
boss?
I like boss.
Boss man?
I'm like,
I hear
yeah,
boss,
you have
I'm
a,
like,
you have a good
hell
day,
yeah,
boss.
Thanks, my guy.
Yeah. Or like I would get like a lot of you know, guys going into, well, a lot of UPS workers at the time, and then like plow guys at night,
Yeah,
because they've been out like all fucking day usually. They've been going plowing snow since like that time before, like yesterday.
Yep.
And they kind of like because that's probably like the second meal they've had in 20 hours.
Mhm.
Because it's a lot of good money to just plow snow for hours on end.
yeah.
But yeah, it
Ooh,
was pretty cool. I also had a guy kiss me on the side of the
That
face at a
escalated
concert.
quickly. Elaborate.
So I was at a concert with Elliot. It was an EDM concert. We don't know if it was Rusko or Nero. I think it was Rusko. But this guy came up to me. We're just kind of listening to the opening act, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like kind of falling around, and he kind of like bumps into me, and I knock him over, and I pick him up, and I'm like the bro like grab him. I'm like, "Oh, you good, man?" He's like, and he looks up at me, and his eyes are fucking saucers. He is in a different dimension, this guy. And he looks at me and he's just like, "Thanks, man." And he like fucking like embraces me and kisses the side of my head. And he's just like, "Thank you." And then he just like looks at me, and then with the, the might of 1,000 men, grabs this little baggie of white shit and puts it in the air. And he's just like looking around.
Oh no!
Just like proud as fuck about all the Molly he's got, the Molly he still has to do that night.
Oh yeah.
And then I kind of turn around and I'm like, "What is he looking at somebody?" And then I turn back and he was gone. And then there was this security card. Then I just see like flashlight, like the stereotypical like flashlights looking for somebody from the sides of the like dance floor or whatever. And I was like, "Oh man, that guy, he's on a mission tonight." I wonder if he's gonna end up in like an
If by
hour.
mission you mean Molly, then yeah.
Yeah.
Some say he's still out there
Some
on
say
Molly,
he's
kissing
still
dudes
on
on the
Molly.
cheek.
Never wear it off.
It wasn't like it was like
What a
like
dream.
I just saved
Yeah.
that guy from like, we're in a foxhole, and I just pulled him out of a foxhole real fast because I see a shell coming or something.
You
And he
pulled him
looks
into
at
the
me and he's
trench.
just like aggressively, he's just like, "Thank you, brother."
Brother.
He leaves.
Brother,
In another
I must
life,
take my drugs and go.
what you gonna do, brother? When Hulkamania?
Oh,
Yeah.
when I was looking for Molly as well at a concert at one point.
Why? Wasn't Michelle there?
Has anybody seen Katie?
Actually, and I had already
I came
found
here
Molly,
with
to be
Katie.
clear, and was in a state, and like I still cringe about this
Wait,
moment
what
because I
state
was
were you in?
just
Iowa?
like fucking vibing, dancing, getting real hot and sweaty. And there was this girl that was near me, and of course, in my state, I thought like, "Oh, this is gonna be, we'll hit it off. This will be a thing."
We're gonna
And
connect.
I was like, I'm really thirsty. Could I have a sip of your drink?" And she gives me a look, and for whatever reason, she hands me her beer, and I like took a sip of it and then gave it back. And I just, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ever
You never
gonna...
talked to her. You didn't say a single thing to her after.
It sounds
No,
like you
'cause-
hit it off, brother.
You just kind of start dancing the other way.
It just,
looking away from her.
Just
Just like,
energy
"Yeah."
dancing out of the
all
scene,
off.
yeah.
I like the way that I described it. It sounds
Walks
like if I
away.
was more smooth, I could have set that up into something. But no, it was completely off.
It wasn't a
was-
great
He's like,
premise. Let's
"I'm
be honest.
desperate
It
and
wasn't
gonna
a great
die if I
premise.
don't have water."
Nick comes
I'm
over
really-
just sweaty,
I'm
just
really
like
thirsty,
wide-eyed
really
as
dehydrated. Can I
fuck.
please have some of your beer to
Yes.
See, Nick, I've seen you really
Refresh me.
fucked up, so I can imagine what that girl saw.
Right. Yeah. No, it was
Hey,
not. It wasn't at my best.
You
could say.
know, our boy always gets himself some Hhwater when he needs it. Hhwater.
Well, go ahead.
Can I build off that one?
Yeah.
I was on the other side of that, so I can tell you how I felt when that
You were the girl
happened.
with the beer?
No, I was the guy with the camelback.
Oh,
These two girls walked up to me. I think they were attractive, but they're like, "Hey, like, can she have some of your water? She's really, really thirsty." And like, I'm looking at them, and my only thought is, a lot of people get bronchitis at these things. So I held it above her head so it was like out of reach and tried to like drip it down. This girl jumps up and grabs it with her teeth and brings it down. I was like, "No!"
no,
Son
yeah,
of
put
a
it
gun.
Are you a
down.
dog?
I know.
No, let
I
go.
was mad though because I'm like, I'm not gonna drink out of this. I was just like, God damn it.
But come on, man. Grab the old T-shirt,
That's
wipe
what
that
that
son of a
mouth
bitch
do, I
off. You're good
guess.
to go, buddy.
Or maybe I might have done that.
Yeah.
I forget what the situation was. I was just mad.
That would frustrate me as well. When you're blatantly trying to like give someone the waterfall drink
Yup.
rather than the actual full-on
And
take
they're
a
like,
sip drink,
"Nah."
and they just like go. It's like, you entitled son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah,
how
you guys-
dare you?
I was doing you a favor.
Yeah, I was setting the pace of this scene.
You blew
Just
right
Bring a
through
little,
it.
like, if you're the Camelback guy, just bring a little Dixie cup. That'd be funny if you see a guy with like,
Oh, yeah.
like a water cooler on his back, and he's just got Dixie cups, and he's like,
No,
just
one
dancing and
single
handing
Dixie
it out.
cup that you
Yeah.
share with everyone that asks for a
Oh
drink.
God. He's just got like the office water, like what are they called? The
Water cooler
The
water
bubbler.
cooler. Yeah, he's just got a water
strapped to
cooler
your shoulder with
strapped
like
to your
duct
shoulder.
tape. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, come get a
Bro.
drink, stay hydrated.
This is pure vodka. Let's go.
We're gonna get smashed.
Good lord.
Well,
I'm
I
glad
think
don't go to those.
I can probably leave the listeners with a message from our sponsor.
JBL. Contact that.
Attention, skull, ghost, all Halloween, jack-o'-lantern, spiderweb, hose, kissing face, nail polish, it's time to get skull, spooky, skull, you know what that means, clapping hands, get, fisted, fist, by a, skull,
Fist,
skeleton,
fist,
skull,
fisted.
shove, raised fist, lollipop, candy, corn, candy,
Oh,
God, it's one of those
right
copy
pointing
classes.
finger,
Yeah, I realize
kissing
that.
cat face,
It's learning.
and
It's
woman
learning.
crossing
Learning.
arms, don't, man crossing arms, forget to suck, weary face, celebratory hands in the air, kiss, Dracula, syringe, dick, eggplant, nervous sweat, tired face, so put, on arrow, your, dress, crown, costumes, kimono, women's hat, and go, door, drop
this
to
just
door,
all
door,
emojis?
eyes,
the
tongue,
most part.
nervous sweat,
I'm waiting for, like, a
begging,
sentence.
weary face, for that, romantic face, good, romantic face, send this to 1212, skull,
Send this to
spooky, ghost,
1212.
peach, sluts, taco, to, I, show, woman tipping hand, that you're ready to get some, chocolate bar, chocolate
Fuck.
bar, covered, eggplant, dick, corn.
I was
That's
waiting
so
for. I was waiting for.
See you
And this
next
message
week.
will delete in 3, 2, 1.
I can see